all this mayhem just for some peace and quiet. All right, here we go. Exhaust part 3. Oh.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. Exhaust part 3. So last time I messed with the exhaust, I put in a super quiet baffle down here. Now, that did help. It helped a lot in cutting out some of the resonance of the open pipe, but it's still really loud, and I think that can still kind of be heard on the videos, even though I have a microphone in the helmet. It's still prevalent, and if you think it's bad in the audio, then it's really bad on my ears. So extended long rides, my ears are ringing after I get off the bike, and that's not a good thing. So I want to try to silence it with something additional. So I think I'm going to work with these 2 ports right here, something that directly inserts. Now, I tried a couple of things already, so a fellow viewer who's in the area was kind enough to give me a couple of these, which are stainless steel wool kind of scrubbing pads. And so my first idea was to stretch this material out and kind of fill the super quiet exhaust with this material and safety wire it in there. And I did a quick test of that a little while back, and it didn't quite cut the sound. The baffle is just too small, so filling this up, it didn't really deaden the sound that much. In addition to that, some of these bits were kind of poking out as well as I tried to safety wire this in. And my fear is that if I'm riding with this material in there, eventually something's going to get sucked out and potentially go back into the engine, and that's going to be bad news. So I don't want this material to attempt to get in the engine like that. So abandoned that idea. So I got this, which is just round steel tubing. It's 3/4 inch. And so I think I can cut it down and make a silencer that kind of inserts here, and then if needed I can drill out holes in it and maybe even fill this material in there if I have to. We'll do something like that. Basically, I'm just going to try and improv this thing. I don't really have a plan in mind of how to fabricate this. I'm not going to be welding or anything like that, and I also really don't want to be drilling into this to try and fit it. So I'm kind of improving at this point. I'm not quite sure. So I guess the first thing to do is just cut this to length, and I don't know, just kind of stick them in there and figure things out. I don't know. Alright, we got 2 pipes, a short one and a long one, and we can fit it in there. But before I get into this, before we get into this and start drilling it or fitting it, all that kind of stuff, I want to test something real quick. So we got our good old friend, the decibel meter that I've used for all of these episodes, and I'm just going to turn the bike on with these out, and then we'll just kind of slide them in there. Just put them in there free standing, and that way we can kind of see if we're going down the right path with these and if it makes any impact at all. So let's try that first. With 70 to 75. Now let's take these out. So now, seems to be doing something. All right, let's try this. So the pipes are out. We're gonna rev it a little bit. Okay, that was pretty solidly at 76, 76 and a half. Put you back in. Give it another rev. Might rattle a little bit. About the same. Not sure if that did anything. Sounded the same. Well, maybe we'll just try drilling it all out. That was smooth. Alright, here's something we can try. So this is technically an exhaust tube for a heater core, something like that. It's 25 mil. This is roughly 25 mil, so okay, it's gonna be a squeeze, but let's try it. What the hell? Alright, we got these cut nice and easy. These are super thin. Let's see if these will fit. Which one is this? This is the long one. Oh, it's snug, but it goes in. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Oh yeah, that looks nice. That looks real nice. Okay, I want to back up just for a little bit because I'm bouncing all over the place here, because the other day I tried this, which is the tube that I had, and I drilled some holes in it, and I was kind of thinking about how do I fit this? Is it gonna work? And then I forgot actually that I had purchased these on eBay a few weeks ago, and I did not realize that it was coming in the mail. So it actually came in the mail yesterday, and these ones are much wider. So these are 25 millimeter diameter here, and the exhaust pipe is basically 25 millimeter. I wanted to try this just real quick, and it actually seems to be pretty effective. So I think I'm gonna abandon this temporarily because this is gonna be much easier to work on. It's a lot thinner and it has a wider diameter, so it could just be a matter of just shoving it in there without having to really fasten it. Maybe I'll use this tube in here and then kind of pinch this down a little bit, just enough that it can wedge in there a little better. So maybe I'll clamp the sides here and kind of punch it down with a flathead. We'll try that. Okay, let's try this. And of course, it's not going at all. There it goes. Oh, come on. Well, it's not perfect. Maybe I should just cut this. What am I wasting my time pinching it for? It's vibrating, but that'll be solved when it's inside the pipe. I think that's better. Sweet. Oh, that went in a lot further. Ooh, yes. Come on. Okay, not too far. Well, let's hope that worked, because that's gonna take a lot to get out. Got the sound meter set. And... okay. Wow. That's a difference. Sounds a lot better. I think we cracked it. Alright, here's the short pipe. I actually just cut out from the remaining stuff, because this, I tried to cut where I pinched, but kept breaking the cutting wheels, so this is just going to be some mangled spare. But this one's nice and clean. Let's try it. Here we go. That went in real smooth. Up to that point. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That was too easy. Not bad. This one's a little bit more stealthy in that it kept the flat bit up here, but no one would notice that. Sweet. My neighbors must be so mad at me right now. It's a Saturday morning. I keep firing this thing up like every 5 minutes. Okay, for the last time, hopefully. Flickering back and forth a lot, but it's going between like 75 and 65, so we'll call it 70, which is a lot better than it was, so that's good. Let's rev it. Come on, stay forward. Okay, kind of works. A little bit of hesitating on, it's still vibrating in there because it's cut. So that cut piece that's inside is kind of smacking up against it, I think. So quick update for the off-camera stuff after I put this in and tried it for the first time. Got the tube and put some tape on it to kind of match the inner diameter here, and then just was slowly kind of pushing it out. That way it doesn't vibrate against itself basically on the inside, because it was vibrating every time I rev and it would let off. It would vibrate a lot, and so I just fired it up again and it's doing the same thing, but I found out it's not this, it's this. I kept my little novelty plate underneath the real plate, and that's what's vibrating, so we'll take that off. Okay. Novelty plate is gone. Hopefully that cuts down on the vibration. Let's try this again real quick because my neighbors are probably pissed. Alright, vibration's gone. Sweet. Well, I think we did it. We'll do a decibel test similar to the ones we did before, just so we can compare apples to apples, but I kind of want to get out and ride this thing real quick first, get a real-world test to the ears. So let's do that. Well, the first thing is, it has a different sound. It's got a little bit more pop to it. I don't know if I like that or not, but the main takeaway here is that even though it sounds poppier, overall it's a lot quieter. So I'm actually doing this test without my earplugs in. And I don't recommend that. You should always have earplugs in. But when I first put on the exhaust, I actually did ride around without my earplugs in just to see. And it was horrifying. It was nauseating. Like, I felt it so hard in my chest that I felt like I couldn't breathe. So if I'm able to withstand this, even though it is still kind of loud, but it's... Oh, here's the main point. Now that it's at idle, it's really nice, really quiet at idle. I'm getting some weird whistle noises, just occasionally. Like if I'm at a decent clip, and then I let off the throttle. But it does seem like when you get up to the higher RPM, like 7 or 8 grand, I don't know, it feels like it's almost louder than it was before. I don't know. Let's do the sound comparison between this and what we had previously with the super quiet. I'll see if there's any difference there. So, cut to that. Well, that was an interesting experiment. I went in thinking I was going to use one thing, and then I ended up using another that I completely forgot that I bought in the first place. So, what luck! That's so cool. I think I'm going to run this for a little while. Maybe I'll try what I was originally trying to do at a later date, but for now it seems to be working pretty nicely. I feel like I'm not as annoying to everyone around me. And that's a nice feeling. I think this is a great last step in the exhaust. We finally got what we wanted. Oh, it feels good. Feels real good. So thanks for watching. Now the fun part, cleaning all this up.
Don't